The BC NDP announced today that provincial labour projects going forward will require that construction teams earn union wages and benefits. This applies even to non-governmental private sector construction crews. Indigenous people and women in general will be given a hiring preference for these projects, and temporary foreign workers will be given the shaft by local hiring preferences. Within that same announcement, they introduced a new Crown corporation called BC Infrastructure Benefits. The role of that organization, the BCIB, will be to facilitate government construction contracts going forward, and only unionized workers will be considered. Projects up for grabs by union hands include the new $1.4 billion Patella Bridge and other construction projects like the $470 million Trans-Canada Highway lane widening project between Kamloops and Alberta. According to the Independent Contractors and Business Association, approximately 15% of construction workers are unionized. This is burdensome to employers who simply cannot afford the cost of employing their employees at union rates. It is a move by the socialist BC NDP to bolster the benefits and chances of unionized workforces at the expense of those not unionized. Their idea is to push more non-unionized employees to unionizing their workplaces, to use that momentum to build up their ranks and increase their political capital. Up to the next provincial election day, those same unions would then thank the BC NDP in the form of campaign volunteers, capital, and marketing. At present, it is unclear as to whether these additional burdens will be inflicted upon construction teams working on current projects or will strictly be administered for future projects. So far, they've only made it clear that they will administer this agency for future projects. Using minorities to boost the power of unions in British Columbia is rich, given the racist past of the labor movement, and refusing to either incorporate minorities into their organizations or expressly refuse entry by qualified employees on the basis of too much competition. The latter, of course, persists to this day, as the far left under the BC NDP continue to use diversity as a buzzword, so long as there is wide diversity of colors on government dependence. In the case of propping up the taxi cartel on the provincial level as well as on the municipal level, where many NDP-friendly politicians currently hold power, minorities that drive taxis are prioritized against other market forces that push for ride-sharing. That is a topic for another video, but it does appear to contradict the often nativist attitude that the BC NDP thrives on. In the end, this new Crown Corporation and its activities are made possible by a government that serves union interests at the expense of construction workers, contractors, people who would use the infrastructure being built under the system, and taxpayers province-wide. Currently, British Columbia has $25.6 billion worth of upcoming infrastructure projects, all of which will be subject to this punitive administration. According to Cardus, a think tank based in Ontario, this new system of union-only employees would jack up public construction costs by $6.4 billion, or 25%. Untold are the cost of establishing this new Crown Corporation. This is wrong, and it will result in pushing out private construction industries from public projects while catering to the haphazard whims of this BC NDP catastrophe of an administration. Claiming that native-born Canadians, Indigenous people, and women will be given a leg up by this initiative simply insults the intelligence of all hard-working, tax-paying Canadians, regardless of their demographic statuses. It is just a tattered shroud to hide the BC NDP's bold-faced allegiance to unions above any other demographic or concern.